The Mutual UFO Network is a non-profit organization dedicated to the scientific study of the UFO phenomenon. I'm Mark Easter, the Nevada State Director of MUFON, and I'm coming to you with a call to action. If you or anyone you know has seen UFO activity, please report it. Log on to www.mufon.com. Take the time to fill out MUFON's convenient and anonymous online report form. See a UFO? Report it.
Okay, I thought I'd just slip that in there.
I have UFO reporting.
You do?
I do.
Really?
Yes. I have seen a man in a police box floating through time and space. And guess what, Belinda?
What?
Soon you will see him too. As of August 27th, the Doctor will make a return to BBC America, BBC One, and Space in America, the UK, and Canada.
But not Australia.
No, because you suck.
Well, nee.
I don't know why they're not pushing Australia to be up there, because Australia is another one of the big money makers in Doctor Who. That's the only reason that America is up there, is because we finally topped them.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because, they figure that we're so dumb that we don't actually notice.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know either. But, I've got things I need to do on the 27th, so it's probably good that it's not going to be on till the next week.
Probably. But I'll get to talk about spoilers, because as any fan of Doctor Who knows, we were left off with quite a huge cliffhanger in our past one.
Yes, we were. And you know what? The DVD extras are not too bad. And you know what?
What?
Rowan Atkinson's lap on Top Gear was so cool. I'm just getting it in now because as of the 27th, I'm not going to hear the end of it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But I do have some other Doctor Who related news for you.
Do tell.
Well, as you know, the current Doctor, Matt Smith, bounced onto the television and no one knew who he was at all. It was literally, this is the first time really that the title Doctor Who was used that literally. Really. Well, there has been a constant struggle between Doctor Who fans over who was the best Doctor, David Tennant or Matt Smith. And for a while, obviously David Tennant was a fantastic Doctor. I love him to death. I really do. Matt Smith was my Doctor, though. And, but now the gap is not actually that far apart anymore. People are finally beginning to cross over and consider Matt Smith to be their Doctor and the best Doctor.
Well, the hard trial is if Matt Smith can actually get my daughter to actually like him, then the rest of the world will have caught up. Because she is not a fan of Matt Smith at the moment, so no, she's a David Tennant fan, and
I think he's brilliant.
I'm a Christopher Eccleston fan. I really liked his Doctor.
I didn't really like Christopher Eccleston. A couple of reasons. One, my daughter doesn't like him. My daughter is also a Matt Smith, David Tennant, Tom Baker fan. I raised her right. But anyway, there's that. And I liked him until I found out that, and they always tell you when you get into a show to never try and learn more about the actors themselves because that'll make you hate it. And in this case, it's kind of true. But because there are so many brilliant people that have played and will probably continue to play the Doctor, it's hard to hate the show because of one person. But Christopher Eccleston, basically, he only did it for 1 year because he hated it. He absolutely could not stand it. He didn't like the show growing up. He didn't like the fame that it brought him, and he actually really doesn't want to be associated with it at all.
Oh. Well, sucks for him because he's my favourite Doctor, but, you know.
But Matt Smith is talking about he wants to be the next longest running Doctor, which means he would have to break Tom Baker's record of 7 years. He is the longest running Doctor that's still alive. Well, longest running Doctor, period.
Well, as long as I don't get the writer that does Torchwood to come in and do Doctor Who again, he might get his wish.
Yeah, hopefully. Stephen Moffat has done a lot of good for the show, but, I mean, I have my fair share of issues with him.
Okay. Should I read this story and then I think you might have one extra because I accidentally deleted one.
Okay.
Okay, so the one that I have, which is the last one on my sheet, is man faces court after police catch him drunk driving a motorised esky.
That's the last one I've got.
Okay. Well, there we go. We're going to fill it up with something else. Oh, and my phone rings. What am I going to do?
My phone went off. That was creepy. We just had a Twilight moment. Twilight Zone moment. Not a Twilight moment. We're not sparkly vampires.
No,
Twilight
no sparkly
Zone.
vampires here. Okay. Okay, so now I've answered my phone and got rid of the little bugger that rang me. Man faces court after police catch him drunk driving a motorised esky. Now, do you know what an esky is?
No.
Right, okay, an esky is sort of like... Oh, what do they call it in the States?
A moped?
No. An esky is the things that you put your beer and that in when you want to take it somewhere and keep it cold.
Okay.
You know, it's like a big thermal box thing that you put ice in, and that'll keep it all cold.
An ice chest?
Yeah.
Okay, now it just became really funny. Okay, please continue.
Okay, we call it an esky, which is heaps easier to remember. Okay, a Noosa man faced court last week on drink driving charges after police intercept a motorised esky back in June. Police alleged Christopher Ian Petrie, 23, was driving under the influence and driving without a licence after they intercepted the esky, which was equipped with a 50cc two-stroke engine, travelling along Noosa Parade on June 16. Lawyers acting for Mr. Petrie appealed to Magistrate John Parker for an adjournment while their client established whether a motorised esky was in fact a motor vehicle. Clearly amused, Mr. Parker granted the adjournment before inquiring about Esky's performance and abilities. "How much beer can it hold?" Mr. Parker asked with a smirk. Mr. Petrie told the court that the Esky could hold at least a couple of cartons. He will reappear in court on August 16.
And it's off, taking a lap around our test track.
Exactly. Now this guy... You know, he could probably get through, you know, those helmets that have like the beer can on each side and the straw?
Yes.
He could probably get through that in a couple of streets, so obviously he needs a couple of cartons.
Yes.
When the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
Wouldn't you just love to see the Stig trying that around the track?
But would there be beer in it?
Yes. Well, no, it wouldn't, because that would add a lot of weight and the Stig would be all sad.
Exactly.
Well, we think he'd be sad. Some say he was born without emotions.
And he's illegal in 5 US states.
17.
Oh, God. He's been doing naughty things.
And He is a CIA experiment gone wrong, and he's on the FBI most wanted list.